Hi there, and welcome to the Independent Horror Review number 2 in a new series of reviews that we're doing here on the Call to Cinema channel. This one here is the second in the Brevito Giallo trilogy done by Darkside Releasing. It is Vincent D'Amato's Glass. Now, this was an interesting film and a challenging film too, if you don't mind me saying. It's one that I watched around 3 times, and then I watched with the commentary on as well. Now, this is a director that's trying to do something extremely different with the film. It's like he's challenging himself. He's challenging the actors. He tries to make the scripts like kind of smaller and more more self-contained. Kind of work with a lot of what's there. He doesn't want to use a lot of he wants a lot of the dialogue to be more realistic and real and not so much scripted. And it's a really interesting experiment. The first time when I was watching it through with this, there was a lot I didn't get with Giallo, with the Glass, and that's the honest truth of it all. Is that it definitely challenged me in some ways, and I wasn't quite sure if I was getting it right and understanding exactly what the director was putting across. One thing I noticed right away that stood out immediately was it had a fantastic score, and I love the music on this. So that was a standout right there. And the lead actress, and I'll look at her name here, is Tiara Dent, is incredible in this film. She is just amazing. But as I went through and as I watched through the second time, I started to notice things, specifically things that I look for in certain films. I'm a De Palma fan. I'm a Giallo fan myself, so there were certain things that I saw, especially De Palma-esque things. There's one sequence where she's running into this tunnel, and I wasn't quite sure when I was watching it myself first if it was like kind of hearkening to Body Double, which is what it reminded me of, or was it? When I got to listen to the commentary, by the way, listen to the commentary on this film because this is fantastic. Commentary is really, really good. So if you go in, it challenges you a bit. There's some things you're not sure about, so some things that you don't quite understand. Watch it first without the commentary, but then watch it again with the commentary on, because the director gives a really thorough, a really excellent commentary. This is the first one he apparently did on his own, and man, he did a great job with it. Vince D'Amato is I think the owner of Darkside Releasing. Now, you have to know going in that this is a Giallo with some eroticism, like a lot of Giallos have, but this is kind of a newer Giallo, so it's a neo Giallo, and it tries to use some of the tropes of Giallo, but try to work outside. This is very art house. In my opinion, it's very art house, and there's a lot of things that he's trying to do to kind of deconstruct different parts of the genre and kind of rebuild it in his own way. He purposely tried to make. He said the first one in this trilogy, which I don't have. Wish I did actually. He purposely tried to write a short script. Like, the script itself was short. The film wasn't short. It wasn't normally, for those that aren't aware, if you write a script, usually one page of a script is about 1 minute of film. So he challenged himself and the people that he worked with by writing shorter scripts, like 30 to 45 page scripts, and making a feature film with that. And that was interesting. Once I heard the director's commentary, there were things in this film that I took for granted before that I no longer did. And now I'm actually kind of excited to dive into more work by Vince D'Amato. Darkside Releasing put this out. I'm pretty sure that this release here has a limited amount of copies. So if you want to grab it, I can't share the inside of it because it is erotic Giallo, and there's some strong nudity on the inside cover. So if you got some parents or kiddies or stuff around, it's good to have this here slip cover. There's also a booklet in here as well. I'll try to see if I can show you the booklet, and I think I can. So I can show you the booklet here, and that is the booklet right here. The first one the one they did here, it's short film Corner Demons in the Dark. There's some good features on there, by the way. The actress is utterly gorgeous, and it's amazing in this film. What I can show you is not only does it have the movie and supplements, but it has a black and white version of the film as well, which I haven't got a chance to check out yet, but I'm kind of excited to do that. Feature-wise on here, it has the director's commentary, which was fantastic. mugshots, music video, deleted scenes, yoga lessons with Tara Dent, because she was actually, I think at the time, she was becoming a yoga instructor. She's really, really, really stunning, by the way. Short films, Demons in the Dark and Out of My Skin are on there as well. Exclusive black and white metallic version of the film. So if you're been holding off on this one, or weren't quite sure, or you were intrigued by this here, go in knowing this is definitely going to be a different style giallo. It is going to be definitely more art house. It's going to be more of a deconstruction. There's definitely some homages to guys like Brian De Palma, to Hitchcock, to different giallo directors, but it definitely does its own thing. Glass definitely gets a recommendation from me, but with the knowledge that you go in knowing that this is not your typical giallo. This is a fine film, but it is a challenging film, and for some people that may be a bit of a struggle. That being said, I really think that's worth diving into, and not just. And if you're watching, you're like, I'm not quite sure what went on in all parts of this film. There's a lot of films where you're not quite sure everything that went on all times, and that's when you just let yourself kind of just dive into the world of Glass and enjoy it for what it was. It was filmed in Vancouver, and basically the whole kernel of the film was. The whole, the genesis of the whole thing was basically there's all these glass buildings in Vancouver. If you've ever lived in a big city, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And he had that kind of thought, wonder what goes on, behind the glass, what goes on behind there. So in this film we find out, and I enjoyed it. So Glass, number 2 in the Bravado Giallo trilogy. Really looking forward to hopefully finding part 1, and then diving into and seeing when or if the third part's out already. I haven't looked on that. I gotta check because I'm very curious. But indie horror recommendation number 2, Glass. You may not know what's going on all the time, but I think you'll have some fun. Director's commentary, strongly recommended. Vince D'Amato does an amazing commentary.